Good morning, brothers, and welcome to the sunny town of Nelson. It's been pissing down cats and dogs the last few days, but now we have some sun. I'll just straighten my camera up because it's a wee bit crooked. My neck's a bit crooked too. Right now I'm going to see the chiropractor because I went racing down to the bale. The pig bailed up, pack on my back, arsed over. The pack drove me down the bank, landed smack on my head, planted the ground on my head, feet went over top, and I completely put my neck out. It's got a couple of bones that are where they should not be, and I'm on a power of drugs right now to stop the pain, which is working wonderfully, but I'm having vision problems, so I'm going to see the chiropractor to get it fixed up. So no need to check on me, I'm checking on myself. And on that note, if you have anything that's bothering you physically, go and get it bloody checked, because us men are absolutely fucking useless at doing our checkups, and I am the first one to admit it myself. Get your prostate checked, men, if you're over 40. I didn't. Fucking silly bastard. With all the warnings around, didn't get it checked out. Doesn't take much. Get a PSA test, little prick in the arm, and then you might get the old finger up there. Woohoo! That's no fun, really. I mean, he had his hand up there, or his finger up there, and I said to him, "Is that your ring I can feel?" And he said, "No, that's my wristwatch." That's just a bad prostate cancer check joke for you men that worry about us. Us men don't like it. We don't want something up our bums. Well, that's debatable. There probably are some that do. And to you guys out there, fuck whatever flips your pancake. But anyway, that aside, get your checks. Whatever it is, your heart, particularly if you've got it in your family, particularly if it's something that is genetic. Do your bro check on yourself. Get it on yourself. This neck of mine, when I put it out, when I first flipped over, I was like, fuck, it went really hot. And I thought, oh, I fucked myself up now. And then I stood up. I had so much adrenaline pumping, I could turn it, could look up. I can't look up now properly. I thought, it's fine, it's sweet. And then as days went on, my vision started to not disappear, but get really difficult. Headaches, and my eyes were hurt. I couldn't focus properly. So that was a sign that I fucked something up. So sometimes you have signs, and other times you don't. And that's the thing with prostate cancer. You don't necessarily get signs, and that's why they call it the silent killer. Some of the classic signs of prostate cancer is you may not be able to pee properly, or you have pain on orgasm, but you can also have nothing at all. So that's why you've got to get your check, because before you know it, it's spread outside and you die. Not necessarily die, but in the case of me, I should have fucking died because I had advanced prostate cancer. I had 2 tumours and it had gone right outside, and they were like, holy fuck, it's spreading to your bladder and you probably aren't looking too flash. I took an approach where I just changed everything in my life just like that. Bang, I thought, fuck it, I'm not going to fucking die. This is not going to get me. I'm going to fight it. And if it does get me, I'm going to go down fighting. And by fuck did I go down fighting. I did the radical things that people don't do. Well, first of all, I did the radical thing, had my whole entire prostate taken out, which I would suggest if you've got to that stage, get the whole fucking lot taken out. Yes, there's a lot of adverse effects, but hey, it's better than being 6 feet underground, isn't it? I had a mate at the same time that was going through the same thing, and he took his own life. He took his own life because he didn't want to go through what was ahead of him. That was his choice. He was my age. He took his own life. I think about that for a while, and I can understand him thinking that way for a split second, but not to carry it out, I can't. Fuck, you only got one life. You want to find out what's going on in this world. You're only here for a short time. The chances of you being born a human being is 1 out of 400 trillion. Do your bro check on yourself. Check yourself. Check your physical. Check it, man. Get it checked out. Check your mental. Are you firing on all cylinders? If you're not, take responsibility to fix it. What do? Talk to a bro first of all. Talk to someone that you trust, someone that you know is going to be good to counsel you on what you need to do, the steps to get yourself well. It's never just one thing. We can talk about diet. Yes, diet is massive. It's not just diet. It's all the things that happen to you, all the traumas you suffered as a child, building up, compounding, the injustices that you went through, the things that were never validated that hurt you and damaged you, your molars, your teeth, getting the teeth torn out here and having bloody mercury put in there. It was all the things emotionally that really hurt you, the person that you loved dying or taking their life, or the person that you really loved, that you're in love with, who left you. for somebody else. It's all those things. It was the business that you worked so hard to create that collapsed. It was the fact that you wanted to have a Toyota Land Cruiser and you just couldn't bloody afford one. No, I'm just being silly now. There's all the things that happen that come along that compound. So there's steps you've got to do to peel back the layers. I was going to say an onion. Well, it's like an onion because you're peeling back the layers of your life to get back to it. And you can't do this with your conscious brain like you think you can. It actually all is going on in your subconscious. That is why hypnotherapy is really good. That is why emotional freedom technique is really good. I've done a lot of work with actual musicians with emotional freedom technique. What's emotional freedom technique? It's where you tap certain points on the body while making positive affirmations. Even though I feel this way, I totally love and accept myself. Bang, 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 bang. Even though this hurts me, I totally love and accept myself. That might be a typical example of something. I did a lot of work with artists in Europe that had really low self-esteem. This is musicians that were playing on stage, but they couldn't deliver to an audience because they couldn't freely speak like I'm speaking to you right now. Being comfortable to say your truth and speak what's on your mind and be yourself, not try to be something you're not. And be okay with being yourself. Be okay with who you are in front of a large audience. Many people find it very difficult to stand in front of a large audience to speak. Many people find that the hardest thing. They will find that harder than going into the boxing ring or harder than going into the dentist. That's a hard one, but harder than that. So what do you do? Well, that's where I came in with the emotional freedom technique. I would make these positive affirmations, and I've helped a lot of artists who are now today successfully on stage with audiences in front of them without the fear of being judged or something going wrong, and working with their audience on a confident level. We could all do with that in our life to some degree because we all find it hard to talk in front of a group. Most of us do, unless it's our professional or our public figure. I mean, there's some people that just lap it up because their egos like to have an audience in front of them. Some people really, really love that. And I guess I would fall under that category when I was younger as a musician, but eventually life came along and knocked my ego right down. So when your ego gets knocked right down, you don't really need that, or you don't even want to have that pat on the back so much anymore. It's nice, but you understand that it's pretty superficial, and on a bigger scale, it's actually your emotional needs that keep you well. It's the emotional relationships you have with people that keep you well. It's your physical fitness, it's your diet, it's your sleep, it's your head set where your brain's thinking. It's all these things that really keep you well, and you can have all the other stuff like the pat on the back, but really all ego does as it gets bigger is it separates you from people. And I could talk for hours about that. Let me talk a little bit about that. We're kind of going off track a little bit here. How are we doing for time? Yeah, we're good. So ego does separate you, and it separates you in a shitty way. What it does is it makes you somehow think on some level that you're better than everybody else. It's crazy. It's fucking ludicrous. It's actually a form of insanity. And I got this when I was working in Europe and Germany, where I was entertaining thousands of people every night. Well, during the weekends. During the week it was hundreds, but during the weekend it would be 4,000 or 5,000 people in front of me. And I was right up there on stage, and I was a great entertainer. I was a great singer. I was good at what I did. I wasn't an amazing singer. I was a good entertainer. I'd say more than a singer. I'd say my singing was pretty bloody average. And I'd say my guitar playing skills were pretty average. As a harmonica player, I was up with some of the best, so that was pretty good. There's my clinic over there I'm going to, Loveday Clinic. I'm going to pull over here. Perfect. Get a park right outside. Couldn't be better. So I had this inflated ego, which it came from having lots of groupies, lots of people liking what I was doing, giving me that bloody pat on the back every day. And eventually you start to think that your shit might not stink like the other man's. You start to think that you might be just a little bit better. You might be a little bit special. You think because so many people keep telling you how great you are that you might be great. And then your ego inflates. And then what happens is life comes along and fucks you up. Life comes along and does something to you that knocks you right down. You get humiliated so badly in public. I was so humiliated at one time. And it was nothing particularly to be ashamed of, but at that time it felt like a massive humiliation. What else happens? You have health problems that knock you down, right down to the ground, and destroy your picture of yourself, of how you think you're this big, strong, tough guy. You're not. You're so fallible. You're like a big bloody balloon full of water, and any bastard come along at some time with a pin and prick it. You have relationships that fail around you, and particularly when your ego's big. But the biggest thing that ego does is it separates you from everybody else. And until you go through this journey of having your ego destroyed, like I have on multiple levels, only then do you really become connected to the whole and all the people around you. Only then do you stop to talk to the bloke in the street drinking the methylated spirits out of the brown paper bag and sit beside him with your harmonica and say, how's your day going, bro? I'm saying this because it's actually something I did a while ago. I'm a drunken guy with his thing there, and I pulled out the harmonica. If I had a harmonica, I'd play the song I wrote from. Because what I did was I pulled the harmonica out and I did an improv. I did a song about a man's got to live by the choices he makes, and your choices right now aren't too good, bro. And I don't know where he's at right now, but I just planted that seed and played some music to him. Shook hands. He actually gave me a hug. He stunk like fuck. He stunk like a bloody old... he stunk like piss, actually. He didn't smell too healthy. But I was down there on the street, sitting beside him, sharing my time, and that's all I have is time, to give him something to take away. To give him something to make him feel better. And hopefully something to plant a seed that he can get help. Because alcoholism is a disease just like cancer. I don't draw any difference between them. But this is me showcasing a way of how ego had separated me from people. After I'd come out of my concert in Europe, if I walked past that same place, that man in the street with a brown paper bag, I wouldn't have even given him the time of day. I wouldn't even looked at him twice. But through all the journey I've gone through life, I realised that we're all the same. It doesn't matter how much money you've made or how much money you have. It doesn't matter how beautiful your wife is or your husband is. It doesn't matter how big your house is, how beautiful it is. These things don't fucking matter. They just don't fucking matter. We're all going to end up a pile of dust in the ground the same. So while we're here, let's understand that we're all exactly the same and that we all need each other. And I can't go through this life without people around me. I can't. I've tried isolation. It doesn't work. And the only thing that ever isolated me was my bloody ego. That aside, today, because I don't have that same ego, because it has been whittled right down because of life and all the shit it's thrown at me, today I have a massive support network of people from all walks of life. The bloke in the street with a brown paper bag with the methylated spirits, to David Judge, the local judge here, David McKeag, circuit judge, who's now retired but a good friend of mine, judges, doctors, lawyers. I don't know if they're always great to have as friends. I've got two mates that are lawyers, and God, do I give them arseholes because of, I won't start the lawyer jokes, but there's a few of those. They're actually both really good people. It's funny because my uncle's a lawyer, and he's actually the only guy that ever really shafted me. All the other lawyers have been pretty bloody good. Yes, I could talk about lawyers for a while because very interesting people, lawyers. They understand stuff that we don't. They know what shit you can get away with and what you can't get away with, and they know the right way to do it. So they're a cunning bunch, but good mates to have. And I've got like two mates, like I say, lawyers. One's in Timaru and one's here in Nelson. Right, the bro check video. I had a few more things to say, but my appointment's now, and I'm going to get this neck straightened out. Check on a brother. Big hearty thank you to Selwyn. It's made a number of videos for this channel, and the rest of you that have made videos. The channel will not carry on without your input. It just won't. I don't have enough hours in a day. I'm already behind with my personal life and things, and that's something I've got to maintain, is my relationships with my children and those I love. So that's X amount of time. So this is a second channel. It's only a side thing for me to help my community. So please consider Peter Pro, putting it out to you there, bro. Good friend of mine. I'm just going to make one. Still waiting for that. No pressure. It's got to come from the heart. And it's got to come from your truth. But any solutions that you have found of problems that have made your life added quality, that have made things better, share it with a brother, and let's help each other out. And in doing so, you'll make your own world better too. Go steady. Right, time to go and get the neck straightened, and then get these two dogs in the back taken to the vet to get their drains taken out. Have a great day. See you later.